Welcome to Something to Talk About from the Bainbridge Island Senior Community Center. Every uh, every month we try, when we can, to check in with the Bainbridge Island Photo Club, which meets here frequently Wednesday nights. Not every Wednesday, but often. You can check it out at biphotoclub.org to find out exactly when and what. And we will look at some pictures today that are being featured in our lobby right now. They are from the 4th of July when the Photo Club puts up their photos for the whole community to look at and vote on. Before we get to that, though, I want to thank Fieldstone Communities of Bainbridge Island for sponsoring Something to Talk About. They offer assisted and independent living and memory care up on Rolling Bay. They also have respite care, and they have day stay programs, which you can learn about. You can tour their bar and grill and the whole grounds by get a free lunch from them by calling Celia or Jamie. Call 206-594-1010. 206-594-1010, or check out their website at fieldstonecommunities.com. Also, I would like to acknowledge that we are meeting on the ancestral homeland of the Suquamish people, the people of the clear salt water, who have made this area their home since time immemorial. We are grateful for their stewardship of these lands and waters, and we continue to learn from them. I'm going to just ask Diane if you're willing to get us uh, start us off here to talk a little bit about the 4th of July annual event, and then we can show some pictures.
All right, great. Well, I was trying to look back and see how long we've been doing this because I haven't been in the club that long. And the farthest back that I found something was 2016, but I think it probably predates that. But anyway, it's probably the biggest event of the year for us. It's a chance for our members to showcase their work and in the form of prints, which is we're moving away from that as digital becomes more and more accessible, it's easier. And so most of our meetings, that's how images are projected. But this is a really great opportunity. It adds some extra challenges because you have to get something printed and, ready for display. But so we try really hard to make that accessible to people. But we have about 45 to 50 members. I'm not sure what our current number is, but we had 23 members participate this year. We had a total of 85 regular prints and 7 panoramas, which was really good. And the big excitement this year is we had a new display system. We had been using these foam hollow core doors and they were beat up and, it worked, but it was not a perfect system. So we decided to splurge and spend some money to get these metal grids that it makes hanging them so much easier. And I think everybody felt that it was a big improvement. So everybody was very excited about it. And I
Yeah,
think
I liked it because you were able to kind of you didn't feel like you were going through these closed hallways. You could kind
right,
of,
there's a lot more light. And anyway, I think it was thumbs up all the way. And so that was probably the most exciting thing this year. But we let the public come in. It's a very well attended, pretty well known event. We have people that come every year. We had close to 1,000 visitors come in, and about 3/4 of those actually voted. And so it's just kind of a fun thing. I mean, they're all wonderful images, and I always hesitate saying, you know, you know, highlighting just the winners because they really are wonderful. But anyway, it's just kind of a fun way to see how we do out there in the world. So
well, and I do think that it's so much of your people's choice. A lot of it might have to do with subject sometimes as much
oh,
as treatment.
absolutely. Yeah. And we've got people that are really sophisticated viewers and people that are just kind of like looking at pictures. And we've got kids voting. So it's really across the board. And so it's but it's just really fun. And I think they enjoy it too. So this year we were limited to 4 regular prints because I thought we were going to even have more. And so there is a little bit of a space issue. And but anyway, and the people that voted were to vote on their top 5 regular prints and their top panorama. And then we put these numbers into an Excel sheet, and one of our members who's really comfortable with that tabulates it and gives us puts out the results within, the same day. So anyway, and so today and right for the month of August, those winners are on display, and so that's what we'll be seeing today. And I hope that I see we have a few people that have images up there, but anyway, I guess we'll have to pass through them because I don't know what I would say beyond their nice prints.
Okay, let me get the picture up here. Let me see. It's if you're ever looking for it on our website, it's on the biseniorcenter.org/art hyphen gallery. And so that's where it should be. And there we go. And so this is the landing page, and you can see that the gallery that we're going to look at today is the Photo Club exhibit. So this is what we're going to look at. And that's just the intro slide.
That's a great
Kind of
one.
nice.
Mm.
And Dawn is here, I think.
Yes, she is. So
Dawn, you want to tell us a little bit about Anna's hummingbird?
she might be muted because I did see her. Well,
So you need to unmute if you can, Dawn, to join us. Anyway, this is one of those wonderful, rare things where you can actually, capture beauty in motion. Not an easy thing.
and Dawn exceeds at this. She's kind of one of our main bird photographers. We've got a few people that are very talented in that way, but yeah, she's inspired a lot of us to give this a try. And it is hard, very hard to capture, especially a hummingbird in flight with that much detail. So
That's gorgeous.
yeah.
Mm.
And Jane is here. This is ninth place, apparently.
Mhm.
You want
Uh,
to say something about it?
Sure. On April 8th, I photographed the total solar eclipse in Dallas, Texas. And this image is a compilation of still shots leading up to the moment of total coverage, which lasted 4+ minutes. It was spectacular. Uh, I highly recommend. I was lucky enough because our daughter lives in Dallas to just be able. There were 1 million people that descended on the city, just Dallas, for this. So this is, as I said, a compilation of two photographs. In February of this year, my late husband, Eric, and I visited this nearby park as an ideal location to watch the eclipse. And that's him walking in the lower left of the photo. So what I did is combine the images and I named the photo Ericlipse in memory of him. Technically, what I needed to do is this is individual shots that I put together of the stages of the eclipse, the phases. Just like we all have to wear the solar glasses that protect our eyes, we have to use a very similar kind of protector for our lenses. So that was it. It was an incredible experience.
So is that a shot from when you were with Eric out there, and then the second shot is a multiple exposure?
Yes, exactly. The second, all the shots of the sun leading up to the total phase was done in April. This shot was taken in February. So, and it was a series of shots that I put together in layers in the sky.
Very well done and such a nice tribute to Eric.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, this one is mine. I named it the Patriarch. And I was at the Woodland Park Zoo. I wasn't in Southeast Asia to get this, but I had so much fun watching the orangutans, especially this guy. I mean, and it was wintertime, and I guess a lot of them had these burlap sacks that they just kind of put over their heads, and some of them were playing peekaboo with them. And anyway, but this guy he was eating his peanuts and just mellowing out. And I found out when somebody came by in the forest, she actually had worked at the zoo, and she knows that he has a very distinctive face, and his name is Heron, Heran. And I hadn't known that. And so that was kind of some additional information. And she was so excited to see it because she just she had a lot of things to share about this particular orangutan. And so anyway, I really liked it, so I included it.
Yes, and you got at least one vote from the zookeeper.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
So human, this animal, and just such a great shot, lighting, everything about it.
Yeah, I liked how the background had some of the same colors in his fur, and just, it all just came together and worked well. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay, UA. Anything you'd like to say about this lovely
Oh, he might have
Patagonia
lost his
Dreams?
internet. I hope he didn't.
Oh, we can
No.
see him.
You
You
know,
way?
he,
Hello? Hello?
Hello,
oh,
UA.
good,
Yeah.
Yes.
you're there.
Yeah. I don't see the picture.
Oh,
Oh.
you don't?
It's the Patagonia.
Yeah, we see
Oh,
it.
okay, all right. I know what it is. This is actually part real, part AI. So if you look at the color pebbles at the bottom, these are
Yep.
AI generated.
Mm.
And the watercolor is very close to what I saw. And the sky color is also very close to what I saw. And I guess we were just lucky. The weather in Patagonia is unpredictable. We got some really good weathers, and we all joked that when we go back, we need to desaturate our images.
It's beautiful.
I'll
That-
say saturate is a perfect word.
It really jumps out. So the pebbles that are in the foreground, were there some pebbles, they just weren't those colors, or you added those?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're actually generated with DALI 3.
okay,
And they gave me a lot of choices, and I picked the one that I think will fit, and I just burst that in.
very fun.
Okay, the next one, I don't see nor see Glenn here. One that got away includes Glenn Wyatt, who took the picture, I guess. But it's a little bit like the Don photo we saw earlier, where you're capturing an amazing moment, except I think he put them together, didn't he?
I'm not sure.
Don, are you on now?
I don't think I'm
Yeah, we hear
here,
you.
Yeah, we
Great.
but
hear you.
I cannot get it to connect
Oh, well,
so that you're hearing my voice, or
we
do
hear
you
your
hear me?
voice.
We're good that way.
We do. Since we're looking at this, we were looking at your hummingbird picture earlier. Oops, you went away. Okay.
Oh, frustrating. This
Um,
one, these
yeah,
were
go ahead.
tied for seventh place, by the way. This image and UA's Patagonia shot were tied for votes for seventh place.
And Luke is not here, but this is sixth place, the end of Lonely Street. And talk about an atmospheric shot.
Very, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Looks
nice
like
shot.
film noir right there.
It's one of my favorites.
Mm. 。
Mm. Well, Norm, are you on the ferry?
Yeah,
you
well,
see-
yeah, I'm on the ferry. Yep, I'm on the ferry. I'm still sitting at the dock though.
Oh,
So it's typical ferry day, I guess.
yeah.
Yep.
So this particular photo was taken probably about noon one day, and some time ago I found a a way to change a photo that you took during the daytime to into a nighttime look, and so that's what I did with this. Uh, Everything in this photo was in that photo for that day. The sky is the same sky. The person walking down the street on the right hand side is the same guy. I used AI to take out the cars that were parked over on the left hand side. But that's what I did. It's day to night, and also I also call it turn the lights on, because I had to go through all of this and turn on all of the little tiny lights everywhere that you see in the buildings, in the church, in the houses back in the background. The bistro lighting had to light up, so it's a fun procedure to do.
Yeah, it feels like like one of those little holiday settings that you might see in the um Blodell Mansion or something.
Yes,
Right.
Yeah.
it does.
It's
And
great.
you've done this for a number of photos, right? We're going to see some more of them coming up later.
Oh yes, that'll be my theme for September. Is I'm gonna have 4 different photos, and I'll have the before and then the after that I've completed with it.
Nice. So stay tuned for that.
Well,
Norm,
yes.
Yes.
how long did it take you to do this? It looks like it's really, really well done, especially the lighting behind the bistro. It looks real. How long did it take you to do all this?
Well, I'll tell you, the thing that takes the longest are the little tiny lights back in the background.
Yeah,
That you have to turn all of those lights on, and obviously the way that you're turning the lights on is that you're just increasing the exposure.
yeah.
But you just have to select like the windows, and then you just increase the exposure is all that you're doing.
Uh-huh.
When I
Yeah.
look at one of these up front, like you can see the light throwing its light on the side of the building.
Yeah,
Yep.
it
And
looks so real.
and that's also part of the procedure, is that you just take a radial filter and you light that up, but then you subtract the dark portion of the light itself. And so that's what puts the light in the background of the bistro light. But if you choose the bistro, the entire fixture, and start lighting it up, it turns that light orange, and it turns to blue. It just lights it up naturally.
Ah.
Hmm. Well, it is lights out outstanding.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. And you have to really understand light, how it reflects on things to do it right. And you really seem to have mastered that.
Yeah.
Yes. Wonderful job.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, this one is one of mine. This is a short-eared owl, and I learned about these guys from a couple of our members. They've sent Colleen and Lars. Most everybody knows them, but they've moved away, unfortunately. But anyway, they talked about these shorties, they call them, and they are around and up near La Conner on the Samish Flats and different areas up there. In the winter months, like January to March, I'm not sure exactly how long they're there, but I just was so excited. So my husband and I went up and we got a place to stay, and I went out 3 days in a row. And I am not a master of birds in flight. I, practiced it as hard, and but I was just so thrilled to get this one. I mean, I took a lot of shots, and most of them were not so great, but this was one, and I really. What made it for me was the fact that he looked like he was looking right at me, and those eyes were so. Anyway, I was excited about it. So, and I'm going to keep trying to get better at it.
How far
Oh.
away was the owl?
Oh, boy. I mean, this is cropped quite a bit.
Mhm.
And maybe several hundred feet.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe not that far, but there's, I shot it with a 400 mm lens, and then I cropped it. I have a pretty large pixel size on my camera, so I can get away with that. But yeah, so
So what brand
great.
did you use?
what?
What brand of camera did you use?
Oh, that's with my Nikon Z8, and it was with my 80 to 400 lens.
Great.
Yeah, yeah. And I was shooting at 1/10,000th of a second.
Yeah, you probably need that
Wow.
speed.
Yeah, and I mean, and as you get better at it, you can get away with slower shutter speeds as you get better at tracking. But I had to be really up there in order to
Yeah.
capture it. So yeah.
Well, Al has this expression like, "You got me. How'd you do that?"
Yeah.
Looks a little bit like Britney Spears. What are you doing? Now this I think is Bob Rosenblatt's.
It is, and
It
he's
is.
not going to be here today. So this is just a great shot, and I
Yep.
can see why it plays so well. But it's he said it was taken at the Heron Rookery by the Ballard Locks, and that's with a 500 mm lens.
Mm.
And then Norm, if he hasn't loaded on the ferry yet, can talk to us about the stars that came out at night.
Well, I am on the ferry, so I'm out in the middle of Elliott Bay, so but not all the way out in sound. So this was a photo taken at the craters of the moon, and what I'd originally gone there for was for Milky Way photographs, but obviously it was cloudy. But I scouted out this location prior to coming back to photograph this tree. So I found this tree and I found several other trees, and this one I just really liked. It's probably taken like about 11 o'clock at night, and the reason it's so lit up in the back is that that's all ambient light from small towner that's out there. I think it's just one of the small towns out by craters of the moon.
Where's the craters of the moon?
It's probably central Idaho, about as close to central Idaho as you can get.
Okay, thank you.
I like the fact that there was ambient light in that. I think really adds to it. Not sometimes it detracts. In this case, it really, makes the photo, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. The color is what it truly
And
is.
the
What makes this
contrast with
photograph.
the silhouetted tree is
Yeah.
very well done.
Beautiful.
And it takes us from sort of our level up to the heavens with the colors and the stars. It's really a nice composition. UI.
Drum roll.
Yeah.
First place.
The moon. Actually, this is not an original idea. A few years ago, before the pandemic, my wife and I were taking vacation in Las Vegas. She likes the slot machine. I don't. So when she was busy losing money at the slot machines, I went to a few galleries, and one of which is by Peter Lik, Lik. And he is an Australian photographer. And it just so happened on that day, it was not crowded. And I spent a long time there, and the salesman saw me and thought he found a good target. So he took me to a small room. He said, "I want to show you something really special." I said, "Sure." So I went in with him into the small dark room, and he closed the door. It was completely dark, and he did not turn on the light. He said, "Let's wait for a few seconds until your eyes get used to the darkness." And he just fell silent. And I waited for a long time, and then he gradually turned on the light. And there's only one single photograph in the room, and it was the moon. So the moon looks like it's shining as he gradually turned the light up, and the moon seems to be rising and shining. Oh, I was so impressed. I said, "How much is that?" He said 35. I said 3,500. And he said 35,000. I thought 3,500, my wife will have a problem. 35,000, forget it. So I went back, and it's easy to take a picture of the moon. So I took a picture with the moon with my Nikon 500. And what I did not have at that time was a cliff with a few trees. So in my travels, I looked for a cliff with trees. And finally, I found one. When I found one, I took it home and just did a composition. And this is the composition. It's very similar to Peter Lick's moon. It's just a different color tone and a different orientation.
Well, I think you could probably get 3,500 for it.
If somebody wants to buy it for $35, I'll sell it.
There you go. So, where did you find the cliff? I'm curious.
It's actually at a scenic spot in China.
Oh,
And the processing really took me a long time because at that time, the masking and selection tools in Photoshop wasn't as good as they are now. They're really good now. It'll be fairly easy. At that time, it was a painstaking job.
Very nice.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes. Appreciation to Peter Lick for giving you the inspiration.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have the panoramas. Chuck is not here, but this is the second place. The firefall. And although you often think of them as going horizontally, this is a vertical.
Yeah.
And it's actually because I remember seeing the firefall in the 1960s at Yosemite when they used to pour the coals over Glacier Point. This is actually a sunrise over a falls that is early morning, and there are hundreds of photographers that gather. There's all this chatter, and when the moment happens, when the sun rises, there's complete silence and nothing but the sound of clicking cameras.
I'm impressed with getting this as a panorama because there's time between each shot because you have to, and I don't know whether he was hand holding it or on a tripod, but yeah, but I mean it just blends so well. And I mean, I would think that would be an extra challenge to do this shot as a panorama, but yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And here's our last shot.
Yeah, this actually, there's nothing special about it. It's near the end of my Patagonia trip. And you can see we're actually very far away from Torres del Paine. We're already very far. And we actually went out to shoot the birds and did not get good bird pictures. And I just set down my camera, put on the neutral density filter, and this is a slow shutter picture. And you see the lighting is not right. The mountains are not lit up. So I entered it, and I have no idea why that got the first place.
Tell you that the slow shutter speed makes that experience of the water relative to the clouds a dynamic tension because the clouds look so alive and the water looks so calm and the mountains kind of go between the two. I didn't know I was supposed to want the mountains to be lit up.
Well, obviously a lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
It
How
worked.
slow what shutter speed? Do you happen to know what shutter speed you used?
I don't have the exact EXIF data, but I think it's around 10 or 15 seconds.
Okay.
and it's a Nikon 24 millimeters, I believe.
Okay. I love that silky look of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Beautiful.
got it for you. Now, these are lovely, and as you said, there were a lot of other wonderful photos that were in the show. And if you have never been and you're on Bainbridge on the 4th of July, come down and experience the amateur photo show at the BI photo presentation at the Senior Community Center.
Hmm.
Well
I just
worth
want
it.
to, I want to say thank you, Reed, for giving us the opportunity to both the Senior Center for having the show each year and
Yeah.
also for this opportunity. And to Diane and Pat and Irma and those who led this incredible effort, thank you so much for the time and effort you put into this.
Well, there were so many volunteer people that helped. It's a joint
Tons.
for sure,
Yeah.
and it's a really fun event. So I
Mhm.
was happy to do that. So thank you. And I did mean to thank Reed at the beginning. So I'm glad that you have better manners than I have.
Thank you all. And as I said at the beginning, biphotoclub.org has the times when you meet. Is it Norm who keeps that up to date?
Yes.
So thank you, Norm, because that's where I figure out what's happening next with the photo club. And so every month you can come and see what's going on in the lobby. And if you're interested in participating, these people are not too scary. They'd be happy to welcome you to one of their meetings.
Absolutely. Mm.